All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, and I appreciate y'all for coming. I hate talking to an empty room, and that has happened so many times in my years with Gaz. You will hear vacuuming upstairs. I do have a cleaning lady. I have 4 children, and I work from home all summer, and we've been home for 3 months, so I need a cleaning lady. So it's definitely been a blessing. So you will hear vacuuming upstairs and footsteps. My children are in the next room. Like I said, I have 4. Um, and they're all home today. So I do apologize for any background noises. We are going to go ahead and we're going to go through the presentation. A couple of things that I want to preface with. Some of you are returning, I believe. A couple of you that I actually see on the list now are returning students. You've taken courses with us before, which means that you have used us with when we were using Brightspace as our LMS. LMS stands for Learning Management System, and that means basically where we house our courses. There we go. Me, big face. Basically where we hold it has our courses. Brightspace was fine for us. It worked for a long time. Georgia Virtual School has been around, I want to say, it's either 14 or 15 years. We've been doing this for a while, so our courses are pretty well honed. The courses themselves, several courses have been rewritten. American Literature, this course was rewritten just a few years ago, so there's a lot of updates. There's still a few glitchy spots that I don't like, but I'll show you what I've done in order to try to get around that. That being said, Brightspace was fine. But in my experience with Canvas so far, which is pretty limited, Canvas is seeming to work better and just fewer clicks. Like the issue I had with Brightspace as a teacher is it took a lot of clicks to get just a simple task done. So we're very excited about switching to Canvas. There's a lot of things that it does automatically that Brightspace made very difficult for us to do. So we're very excited about it. That being said, I know a lot of you are returning and you'll have to learn the new system. You're basically going to be on the same page as me because I have not taught with Canvas before. Darn it, what was I going to say? Oh, as well as the new students to Gavs that have not been with us before, but Canvas is pretty common. When we were doing our training session back in March, I believe, one of our more experienced teachers that's been with us pretty much since the beginning, kind of my mentor and role model, she had used Canvas at her face-to-face school. So I know a lot of face-to-face schools use Canvas for their online learning, or even just, a way to reduce using paper and have students submit assignments online instead of in physical paper. So there are a lot of things that have changed. There are a lot of policies that have changed. We have had to adapt some policies in order to move into Canvas. But what I have noticed is very few policies have changed for the summer. There have been a lot of policies that were in place for previous summers that almost haven't changed, very little at least, for this year. For example, work on this in the summer courses due every day. There's 1, maybe 2 days on the schedule that have no work assigned, and that's because you're supposed to be reading. I think this Friday is one of them for those of you that have started today, June 1st. Work is due every single day, and late fees, I say fees, and I mean deductions. Just, if I say fees, I mean deductions, begin immediately. That is one of the things that with the new Canvas that we're really looking forward to is those late deductions are done automatically. I don't have to do them. I used to have to do them, and it was really irritating because it took forever and ever. Ugh, I'm so excited. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and share my screen because I tried to upload the presentation and it didn't want to do it. And I'm like, I'm not going to force you to do it because it's just easier for me to share my screen. So I'm going to go away. I'm actually going to shut off my webcam. I'll turn it back on later. But just to not overpower my broadband, I'm on Windstream. Yay. So I'm going to shut my webcam off and switch to screen share so that you can see. If at any point you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat box. If I can't see it, the chat box or anything, feel free to turn your mic on and ask a question. But let's get that webcam off. Go to screen sharing. All right. Screen share should be working. If you can see, I'm going to switch over to a different page. Make sure that you can see that. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to double check, make sure. Can you all see my screen? Did you see the presentation pop up? Just give me one or two if you want to view two, or you can confirm in the chat. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's go back to that. Okay, I'm going to go through the presentation. It gives me a couple points that it wants me to go into the course and start showing you stuff. I'm going to do that at the end, just because it's more convenient for me to not switch back and forth a billion times. All right, so let's get started. This is American Literature AB. This is the summer course. My name is Tara Mullett, M-U-L-L-E-T-T. Notice the double L and the double T. I have had many times in my life where that last name has been misspelt. Unfortunately, when I first started the school I'm currently teaching at, my face-to-face school, the sign that they put over my door had the wrong spelling. They did get me a new one within just a couple of weeks, but it didn't sit well. I don't like it when people misspell my name. So make extra sure that on your assignments that you spell my name correctly, but especially with my email address, make sure you spell that name correctly, that it's a double T. Spell check and autocorrect like to change my name to one T, which is the haircut, okay, or the fish. There's a fish that's in Florida. Water that I used to catch when I lived in Florida, that it's called a mullet, but it's only one T. The haircut as well is only one T. My name has two. Okay, if you only put my email address with one T, it won't come to me. So make sure that you do it here. You're paying close attention to that spelling. Okay, a little bit about me. This is my 10th year in education. I just had to do my second recertification. Teachers have to recertify every 5 years in the state of Georgia, and I just had to do my second one, and I'm totally blown away that I had to do that. I cannot believe I've been doing this long. I love it. And I believe this is my 14th semester with Georgia Virtual School, I think. Pretty sure. Semester counting 3 per year, fall, spring, summer. I usually only teach in the summer now since I have 4 children, and I teach face-to-face at a pretty busy middle school. So I try not to teach during the school year if possible. I have a bachelor's degree in literature from Ave Maria University, which is in Florida, and I received my Georgia teaching license after completing the University of North Georgia certification program. I've taught in public schools, private schools, homeschool, and online settings, which is basically tutoring. I've done co-ops. I've done so many different formats of education. I also teach 6th grade ELA in a face-to-face middle school in a actually really big school. There are almost 2,000 students to the middle school, which is very big. My husband and I, who have lived in North Georgia since 2012, we have 2 boys, aged 7 and 5. We also have a 2-year-old little girl and a 6-month-old baby boy. They love to keep us busy. We enjoy reading, watching nerdy shows like Doctor Who and Firefly. We also love getting outside in nice weather and spending time with our families, both here in Georgia and in Vermont. My husband's family is in Vermont. I also have family in Canada and Florida, but unfortunately, don't get there very often. My passport is expired, so I hope you enjoy your semester with Georgia Virtual, and know that I will do my best to help you and do your best. And I've tried to confirm and affirm with many of you that I have, like I said, I've taught for GAFS for 14 semesters. It's a lot. I've done this a lot. I know a lot of our policies, and a lot of our policies have changed this year, but my boss and her boss, my ILT and my ASI, which are the next people above me, are amazing, amazing, amazing people, and they do a really good job of making sure that we stay informed. So if you have any questions, please be sure to let me know. My job is to make sure that you succeed. On the left is my kiddos. I took this right at the beginning of the coronavirus lockdown, and I thought it was hilarious because all 4 of my children were within 6 feet of me. I mean, yes, I understand that household and family members were not expected to quarantine and keep 6 feet apart, but I was cooking dinner. This is this handle of my stove down there in the bottom left. And I noticed after just a few minutes of cooking that all of my children were within 6 feet of me. Yeah, up in the top left, the blue t-shirt number 1 is my Cademan. He's 7. In the red going through my cabinet is my Simeon. He's 5. My daughter's there in the middle on the floor coloring her princess coloring book. She is 2. She'll be 3 in August. And on my hip, the chunky one is Ronan. He is 6 months old, and that's him in the picture on the right. My husband's holding him. He had just woken up from a nap and was super cheery and happy. And yes, in the left, you can see my groceries all over the floor. That's my life. Here's my contact information. A couple things about this. This can also be found on the teacher information page, which is on the home page. You can click on that. At the home page, right at the top, there's 4 little widgets, and not 4, it's like 7. One of them is teacher information, and you can click on that to reread my biography if you care to, and also get my contact information. The email address, make sure, like I said, you spell it with a double T. For the phone number, I was a dum-dum, and apparently I typoed and mistyped my phone number in my email for the welcome email, and a couple of you have figured that out. I appreciate you for letting me know. This is the correct number, 4859, not 4839. And I apologize to whatever random person out there that I put their phone number down. It's 59, not 39. I keep my hours of availability during the summer pretty open. I do 9 to 7. If you message me outside of those hours and I'm sitting doing nothing, I might reply, but sometimes I will make you wait until those hours. Just because, like I said, I have a family. And I try to remind my students to please be cautious of those hours. I have had students message or email me. I've had students text me at like 11 o'clock at night. They just weren't thinking. They were doing their work late at night, like students tend to do, and then had a question. They sent me an email. They sent me a text message. So my texting tone is not that loud, but I have kids. I don't want them to get woken up. I do prefer text messages. Call it social anxiety, whatever. I hate talking on the phone. And also it just allows me to be able to respond when I'm available. Sometimes if I can't answer the call, it takes more effort to reply to a call than it does to a text message. Also there's, napping children and things of that sort. So texts are much less disruptive. I'm going to show you where your syllabus is in the course, and the syllabus is where you can find a lot of information about like grade structuring, what kind of assignments are coming up, things like that. This is going to be where you're going to see a lot about our policies and things like that. The calendar is going to be your best friend, especially if you're taking more than one course with us. The calendar is going to show you all of those courses on one page, and it's going to color code them according to the course. So I believe when I checked a sample student, it showed up as green. I don't think it's going to show up green for everybody, but the calendar is where you're going to go to see all of your assignments and when they're going to be due. I encourage you to rely on that calendar as well as look ahead. I have done the best that I can to warn you of large assignments that are coming. I put in notifications within the course. For example, a rough draft might take you a couple of days to write, to actually think your way through it and do a good job with it. You don't want to be surprised the day that it's due. Oh, poop, I have a rough draft due today, and then turn out something that doesn't benefit you at all. So do kind of use that calendar and look forward and get started on assignments. For all of the rough drafts, I have put a notification in the course, just kind of warn you to get started on it so it doesn't, catch up on you and surprise you. Be sure to review that calendar regularly. You can even install the student application for Canvas on your smartphone and receive notifications of when assignments are due. I highly encourage you to do that. I have both the student and the teacher app on my phone, and they're so easy to use. I encourage you to do that either through the App Store or the Google Play Store. I encourage you to put that on your phone and set it to give you notifications, calendar notifications, so that you don't forget to turn assignments in. Assignments are what you need to do each day, and the assignments you need to turn in are detailed in your course calendar. Remember, the course content that precedes the assignments when you access the module page of your course should be carefully reviewed before turning in any assignments. So the calendar is only going to inform you of assignments that need to be submitted. It's not going to inform you of when you need to read what. That's why you need to go to the course content and follow it through page by page. Don't skip any pages in order to make sure that you have all of the reading material that's necessary for a particular assignment. For example, before you write the essay on Great Gatsby, you obviously need to have read The Great Gatsby, as well as any content and instruction that went with it. So don't just rely on the calendar to tell you everything you need to do. That's only going to tell you what you need to turn in. The modules is where you're going to want to start and go page by page, making sure that you read everything so that you don't miss any instruction or content. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, this is our late work policy. This has not changed much from last summer. So those of you that are not new to us, you check your course calendar to know when assignments are due. Any assignment not submitted on its due date will be automatically assigned 0. It doesn't mean you can't turn it in. You can turn it in for late credit. In the summer, late assignments will automatically incur a 20% grade reduction for each day. That's a little different. I think in the past we've done 25 or something like that and only allowed 2 days or something like that, but it's 20% per day. So if you turn it in 1 day late, you still get an 80, which is still a good grade. The one thing that has changed is we're going to be counting Saturdays and Sundays as their own grade, and that's because we switched to doing 20% per grade day. So you have 5 days to turn in a late assignment. Well, 4 if you actually want a decent grade. For example, you have an essay due on Tuesday, June 16th. You turn the essay in, however, on Saturday, June 20th. That essay will incur a 80% reduction from the grade earned on the essay. The essay is 4 days late, and thus the maximum score you can receive is a 20. So do make sure that you're planning ahead. You look ahead. If you see an essay coming, start it early. Don't wait until the day it's due. That's just not wise decision making. There we go. If you have planned a vacation, you still need to follow the GAVS calendar. If your family goes on vacation or you go on a school trip that takes place while GAVS is in session, you are still required to turn in assignments that fall on your GAVS schedule. Vacations and school trips are not an excuse for late work, and no exception will be granted for late work for school trips. In the past years, I had a student that went on a cruise the last week of school, and she was not able to hold solid internet. I could not grant her an extension or any kind of exemptions because that was just poor decision making. So make sure if you do plan on a vacation that you continue to work through that vacation or work ahead. Students ask me all the time, is it okay to work ahead? Absolutely, please do. Keep in mind, if you plan on going to a mountain cabin or on a cruise, the internet may not work well and you may not be able to get your work done. Technical difficulties are not an excuse for late work. So you go on vacation, the internet doesn't work well. Sorry, you should have worked ahead. If your power goes out or something like that, and you lose internet for a couple of days, that's a little bit different. You can contact me for help on that one. However, we do encourage you to try to use a backup computer, go to your library, go to your grandma's house, whatever you need to do in order to get your work done, because it will catch up with you very quickly, even if you have an extension. And that's just for your own benefit. During the summer, things build fast. You forget to do work one day, and you've got, you're in for it for the next day. So do try to keep on top of that. I don't recommend working exclusively off of an iPad, especially when it comes to working on essays. It just doesn't go well. It is best to have a keyboard. So make sure that you do have the appropriate technology and internet access for the course. GAVS courses can also be accessed on many mobile devices. So if you just had a discussion or a quiz or a test or something like that, that's very easy to do on a mobile device. But like I said, I would not recommend trying to type an essay on a tablet or a phone. You are responsible for managing your time and for ensuring that you have proper technology in place to complete your courses. Contact me immediately if you're experiencing technical difficulties. So a couple years ago, Hurricane Matthew clobbered Glynn County, for example, and we have a lot of students in Glynn County. So I think that year we actually extended a blanket extension for all the students in Glynn County, and we just had to work with them because the whole county was out of power. So obviously that's the kind of situation that we would absolutely work with you. Your internet glitches. I had a student last semester who just had terrible internet, poor kid. And he had several tests that were ruined. And he contacted me real quick. He had proof, and we worked together. We got through it. So just let me know. Come on. Here we go. Oops. Oh, wow. Good. Oh, no, I think I'm accidentally going the wrong direction. There we go. Wasn't the right place to begin with. All right, so we have a student success site that provides resources to make your transition to online learning environment easier. You can find the student success site in two places on your course homepage, from the help icon in the left navigation menu and on the student class resources page. I will show you that when I go into the course. In the student success site, you will find resources on navigating your source, navigating your course, turning in assignments, checking your grades, and Office 365. Now, here's the nice thing. Never mind. I will communicate with you via Office 365 email and your Canvas inbox. I probably won't use the Canvas inbox very often. I prefer to rely on texting as well as emails. I use Google Voice. So it's very easy for me to keep communication logs using text, because I can just copy and paste off of the, because I can open those text messages from my computer. So I tend to use text and emails, Office 365 emails more frequently. You should check both every day. Remember, you have a school created email address. We made you one for you, and we will not send anything to your personal email address, only your GAVS email. We'll send things to your parents' personal email address, but we will only send student emails to your GAVS email. And that's where any kind of comment, school communications and important course information will come through your Office 365 email, and comments, messages, feedback, etc., generated by me through Canvas will come to your Canvas inbox. So like assignment submission.
Why you make that voice?
Hello?
That voice? My voice?
Okay, I think that was a mistake. Anyways, confirmation emails, anything like that, late reminders. I think it sends you some emails, I think, if you turn something in, or if you haven't turned something in. So make sure that you're checking that GAVS email on a daily basis. Again, I would recommend adding Office 365 Outlook to your phone so that you can get those emails directly to your phone so you don't miss them. I have it come through to my phone, and I make sure it has a different text tone, a different notification tone, so that I can answer those emails quickly. We provide for you a free Office 365 account for you to use. You can have it for free up to 5 computers and your mobile device. Through Office 365, we provide you with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, and Outlook.
Your Office 365 plan also includes 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage, which is a space you can use to share and save assignments if you so choose. Everything you need to know about downloading and using Office 365 is in the Student Success site. So Office 365, if you haven't used it before, is very similar to Google and Google Drive. It gives you a lot of ways to be able to write those essays and save them online. I highly, 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 highly recommend that you use the OneDrive that we've provided for you, because it makes sure that your essays are off your computer. It auto saves. So if you need to, your computer crashes because you forgot to charge it, you can open it, charge your computer back up, plug it in, whatever, and your essay will be saved. Okay. It's not like you use a program on your computer and it doesn't necessarily auto save. Then if you go to your grandma's house for the weekend, you can still work on your work because it's saved online and you can then access it from multiple computers. I highly recommend it. It solves a lot of problems, I also highly recommend those of you that use Apple products, if you use an iPad or I'm not an iPad or a MacBook or whatever, that you, instead of using Pages or any of the Mac programs, that you use Office 365 to write your assignments. A lot of Mac programs don't upload into our system very well. I know that Brightspace did not recognize Pages at all. So students would sometimes have to change their essay into something else. So I recommend doing it in Office 365. Keep all your assignments there, kind of house them there. You won't lose them, and then you'll have it, they'll immediately be in formats that can be used. Okay. Saving assignments, this is very important, especially for those of you that are Mac users. Per GAV's policy, I personally, as a teacher, cannot accept any Google documents or external links to your assignments. You have to upload as a solid assignment. I also cannot accept any assignments via email. So don't just write your essay and tag me in it to share it with me. I can't read it that way. It has to be uploaded through the course. You cannot email me your assignments. It has to be in the course. Each assignment you submit should include your name and the assignment name and the file type in the file name. Be sure to save and close your assignment before submitting it, especially the assignments where we give you a document to fill out. I cannot tell you the number of times that students have turned in a blank document because they didn't save it before they downloaded it. So yeah, then they had to pretty much do it all over again. These are the acceptable format types that work well with the course: DocX, PPTX, PDF, MP3, MP4, XLSX. I think that is an Excel sheet, which I can't think of any time you might need to use that. But I recommend for sure uploading your written assignments as a PDF because it doesn't mess with the formatting. I've had students upload essays before as a DocX, and it messed with the formatting a little bit so that sentences looked funny. The spacing was strange, or the tabbing, the tabs were different, or the indents, or whatever it might be. Docs don't seem to hold that kind of stuff well. So I recommend uploading as a PDF. It still works well. Okay, academic honesty. I'm going to have a class. The very next class that I have is going to be on academic honesty and making sure that you're keeping your assignments honest. We have some students have a lot of confusion about this. One of our first assignments is reading about plagiarism and asking questions. And then one of the first actual classes I have is on this policy because it's something that's very, very important. Do not copy and paste information from the internet and submit it as an assignment to be graded without reference. Of course, there is such a thing as quotation and evidence within your essay, but this needs to be done minimally, and it needs to have proper citation. Do not resubmit an assignment that has been previously submitted in another class, even if you failed this class before. Plagiarized work will result in consequences as described in the student handbook. Your work should be yours alone without help from others unless your teacher gives you permission. We do not do any collaborative assignments in this class for lots and lots and lots of reasons. So there is no reason for two names or two assignments from two different students to be the same. A detailed explanation of the student code of conduct can be found in your student handbook on the student success site. Personally, it's pretty much left up to the teachers on how we choose to handle plagiarism. I know teachers that will simply give you a 0, and that's that for an assignment that has a large amount of plagiarized material. On a rough draft, I might give you another chance to get it right in the final draft, and then I'll go back and edit your rough draft score. Or I might give you one chance to take it out and make it your own work. However, I still do submit warnings into the system. Okay. So the first time you plagiarize, if I can tell it's an accident, I'll help you and I'll instruct you on how to do better. But if I can tell it was done on purpose, I will submit an official warning. And I think you can get 3 warnings. Don't quote me on that. And you might even be booted from the course. Okay. And I have to include my administrator. I think it's a 2nd or 3rd warning. If you have questions, there are several resources available to help you be resourceful in answering questions you may have. You can click on help in the left navigation column of your course homepage. You can use the student success site. You can reference your student handbooks about GABS policies and procedures. Of course, and you can always message me, but please try to find the answer before you ask a question, because if I'm not on the computer and I can't see what you're talking about, it might take me a little longer to get your answer. So try to find the answer first, and if you can't, let me know, and I'd be happy to help. Mozilla Firefox is the browser that works best for our courses. Chrome, it works exceptionally well as well. I use Chrome because my face-to-face school uses Google Classroom and Google Apps and everything. So Chrome just works well for me because I can go back and forth between the two. But even with Chrome, I still have had 1 or 2 little things that I've noticed. I can't remember what they are now, of course, that just simply work better on Firefox. If you have a video or an interactive assignment within the course that doesn't seem to be working well for you, try using Firefox or Chrome. Internet Explorer is just going to fail you. What's the other one? The Mac one. Safari. Safari seems to fail a lot in regards to actually showing things the way they're supposed to be seen. So if you're having trouble getting things to load and even or play or anything like that, try using Firefox or Chrome before you complain that something in the course is broken. So just go ahead and have Firefox. I would recommend using it from the beginning just to save you some time and trouble and frustration. Use your GABS email to correspond with me. Students try to email me with their personal email address, and I try not to answer them, I try to always remind them to use their GABS email. Do not use your external email your external personal email to correspond with me. Please check your GABS email daily, Monday through Friday. Your parents will receive notification emails about your grade every Wednesday through our net response system. Another important form of communication is the feedback I provide in your assignment submissions. Check your grades and read my assignment feedback daily. So for example, I've already gone through and there were 3 students that submitted the introduction assignment this morning. None of them had all of the replies necessary because there was only 3 people posting and they hadn't all, there weren't enough people to go in and reply to. So our discussion policy is you post your original reply and then you go in and read the posts of 2 other students and reply to them. That's how you get a full grade. If you do well on your original post, you get 100. Easy. Discussions are not hard to do well on. My personal policy, this is something that's again left up to discretion of teacher a little bit, is if you only post the original post, you get a 50. If you post the original post and 1 reply, you get a 75. If you post the original post and 2 replies like you're supposed to, you get 100. But if you only post the original post, I will remind you to go back and reply to 2 other students or 1 other student. So none of the 3 girls that submitted a discussion this morning have a 100 because they had all just started. 1 has a 50, 2 have a 75. But if you go in and you add those replies, you go and you read the other posts that have been in there and add those replies, that Canvas will let me know. I'll go in and I will grade you. I'll give you back all your credit. You don't even need to email me. I will take care of it. So it is very, very important to check the feedback. So if you don't know why you got a low grade on an assignment, for example, if you upload a document and it's the wrong document because you didn't title your document very well, or if it didn't work, it didn't open, or if you did it wrong, you just didn't do the assignment right, and I can tell that you misunderstood, you might get a 0 to get your attention so that, zeros will catch the student's attention. Check the feedback. Check the feedback as to why that assignment is graded the way it is and if you can do anything about it. I will have 2 live learning sessions a week. I'll show you those dates and times because right now I'm spacing on what the second time is. One of those per week is going to be just me here waiting for you to come and talk to me. And one of them is going to be an actual learning lesson. And this week, the second one is going to I have the welcome session today, and then I will have my plagiarism class later this week. My weekly office hours are interactive, especially the ones where I call them office hours. And if you have any kind of question, you can come and just hang out and talk to me. To take full advantage of your interactions with me during my office hours, you need speakers and a microphone. A lot of laptops, phones, all of that have microphones built in. So I don't encourage you to get a headset unless you really need it. I'm not using one right now. To be successful, you need to check your course grade daily. I am required to grade assignments daily, and I will add in a little note here that the only time that you may not get grades back daily is when I have a pile of rough drafts. Rough drafts always, always, always take precedence over any other kind of assignment because I need to get those graded and turned back around for the students to be able to edit and write their final draft. That is like my personal vendetta, is making sure that those rough drafts are graded quickly. Okay. So if you have other discussions or if you turned in a test and it needed some attention, most of the tests are auto graded. If you turn in a discussion or another written assignment or whatever, and it's been like 3 days since I've graded it, I'm probably grading rough drafts. Okay. I get bogged down in rough drafts and I try to do my best to make sure that I help you become the best writers I can. So if you have something else that hasn't been graded quickly, please keep in mind if it's rough draft season. There's 3 essays in this course. And I try to do my best to grade those, and everything will go by the wayside because those rough drafts are the most important. Check the Getting Started module of your course in the Student Success site to see how to check your course grade if you don't know how. Your course grade is comprised of the following categories and percentages. So this is how the grade works. The grades work for the Georgia Virtual School in our English for an EOC course. So American Literature is an EOC course, which means that there's an end of course test. Discussions are worth 10%. Coursework and quizzes are 45. Test essays or projects are 45. That adds up to 100%. Then that is counted as 80% of your final score. Okay, so I'm going to explain this now, and I will explain this again at the end of the year, the course when I do my wrapping up class. But this is an EOC course. That means that there is a Georgia State mandated end of course test. Schools are obviously not open right now, both for coronavirus and for summer. So most students that need to take the EOC will take it when they get back to school in the fall. Georgia Virtual School does not schedule those tests for you. We are a statewide school. We do not schedule those tests. Your individual school will schedule and do and administer that test. If you are a private school student that does not have to take the EOC, or if you are a homeschool student, there is a final exam in the course that will only show for those students. So if you are an EOC student and you have to take the EOC when you get back to school, you will not see the final exam and you will not take it. Okay, don't at me on that one. I have students every single year go, "Where's the final? I can't see it." You're not supposed to take it. You're an EOC student. No student will take both the final and the EOC. We'll discuss that more near the end of the course, but just keep in mind that we will not schedule that test for you. Some schools will TU it during the summer if they have a lot of students that are taking the summer course. Some schools will wait till the fall. Most wait till the fall. During the summer session, I will grade your assignments with 1 school day of the submissions. unless it's great rough draft season. Zeros will be automatically entered for incomplete work following assignment due date. That's done by Canvas. I don't have to do that anymore. Review the feedback I'll leave for quizzes, discussions, and assignments. Please contact me immediately if you have any questions. The other thing that's done automatically by Canvas is the late deductions. If you are sick, you have proof that you were sick, you were having issues, you can contact me directly for extensions and I will discuss it with you. If I feel it's a legitimate concern, I can go in and edit late fees, late deductions. But please be forthcoming and proactive when it comes to asking for that. In a second, I'm going to go in and go through the course for you. I'm not going to do that right now. If you're having trouble or if you want to learn more about how to use Canvas, you have Canvas help sessions. We've had one of them is already done. It was yesterday, but there's still 3 more scheduled sessions that you can try to attend. That's listed here. You can see that also, I believe, in the introduction email that I sent you. This is the Jigsaw Help Room. It works for me. I'm not sure it's going to work through a recording. But I believe that's also posted in the homepage and the student resources and stuff like that. You will join by entering the meeting as an attendee. Your username is your email address. If you are a GAVS student, please use your GAVS email address. Enter your first and last name. Click continue. Click the browser icon. Remember, I am here to help you be successful in this course. I take great pride in my pass rate. I will work with you as much as I possibly can within our policies. Do not hesitate to contact me should you have any questions or need extra help, and let's have a great semester. So I absolutely despise it when students wait until the very end, go, oh, I was confused on how to do this assignment, so I just did it this way and it was wrong. That really frustrates me. I would have been happy to help you. So if you have any moment of confusion, please ask. Okay. So now I'm going to check in and see if anyone left any comments. No. Awesome. Now I want to check in real quick and make sure you're still with me. If you can still hear me, you're still along with me. Okay. Let's go take a look at the course. If you have questions at any time, you can hear that little ding ding. Let me know. We're going to go take a look at the course itself, but if you have any questions at this point forward, go ahead and ask them in that chat and I'll zoom over and answer. Yes, Ava, go ahead. Okay, Iris, I'm going to read your question while Ava's typing hers. Yes, Iris, unfortunately, that is true. That's just the way the summer course works. During the school year, you would take the EOC like before the school year even ends, and a lot of times we have that by the time we submit final grades. So you will not receive a final course grade until we get that grade, because we can't total that 20% into your grade until we know what that is. So that is one of the drawbacks of taking a summer course, but the sooner you take it when you get back to school, the school is pretty quick at getting the grades back from whoever it is that grades the EOC, and then each school is pretty good about getting it into us. And then once we have it, it's within 24 hours, you'll have that grade. Okay, I'm going to go into student view. Okay, I think that's Ava's question. We do not do the document schedule anymore, Ava. That's one of the things that is different this year because we have the schedule now in the course, and that's actually the very first thing I'm going to show you. We're not going to do those paper schedules anymore. And the reason why is because Canvas is a lot more adaptive. So students that enter the course today will have the full time to complete work, but students that don't enter until tomorrow will have the schedule adapted. So, I mean, obviously that's going to give them more work to do on a daily basis. But if by entering the course and starting today, you actually are giving yourself the best opportunity to the most amount of time. Okay, that's a great question. I get that question every single year, every single semester. The self-check quizzes are not part of the grades. They're just to help you review and make sure that you understand the material. And I always recommend that you do them before you take the actual module test, because it might give you a bit of a preview of what's going to be on there. So no, those are just for you. You can take them as many times as you need to in order to make sure that you've got the material down. It's not going to affect your grade. The only things that affect your grade are the ones that actually show up on the calendar. Okay, so this is what your course should look like. Because this is a sample student, I'm not going to actually log in as a real student and, violate privacy. This is what your homepage should look like. These are the 6 quick links. This is where you're going to find most, like 97% of the information that you need, except for like grades. So getting started, this is where this is going to kick you up to the beginning where you can have a lot of instruction about how to use Canvas, resources for the semester, things like that. Back. Okay, class announcements. This is where you're going to see announcements from me. Okay, this is my 5 tips for summer school success. Okay, modules. This is where you're going to start most of your learning. So when you click on modules, you're going to see everything, all of the material that you're going to learn this year in this semester is here. Okay, so you're going to be able to click through this information, and these are the pages that I'm referring to. So this right here, discussion expectations, this is a page that I included myself. This is something that I wanted you to know about, so I made sure I put it in there. This is me. I reminded you about the discussion policy. Here, let's see if I can find another one. Okay, right here. Here's another page that I put in. So this is after you should have finished reading the Crucible, all of the information on how to write the essay. I put in here, start the draft now. So make sure that you check your schedule when the draft is going to be due for you and start it when I put that note in. I did that for all of them. Reminders about what's the best way to go about submitting your rough draft and your final draft, things like that. Here's another one. It might seem out of order. See, we've got the Crucible essay rough draft, final draft due way in like 2 units later. I did that on purpose in order to make the schedule work out correctly, to give you time in between assignments before things were due. I also put in a note here, Huckleberry Finn is skipped for the summer semester, and I also informed you that several assignments are going to be skipped on in the grade book. Now that there's actually students in the course, I can mark those as skipped. So there's the Slavery and Freedom unit is super, super, super short because that's where Huckleberry Finn was supposed to be. And there was even an essay with that, but we take that out for the summer. Okay. If requirements for an assignment are reduced, I put a note in for that. If an assignment is considered optional, right here, my regionalist assignment story is optional. I put that in and I let you know how that will be graded. So everything else, except for these pages, is, all of these things that are marked as linked or discussion or assignment, that's put in by the course. All of these pages here are put in by me in order to kind of give you a little heads up on things that I've found to be rough spots. Okay. And I also put in 2 units for the contemporary literature. So the contemporary literature is where you choose a book, contemporary prose. You can choose a book to read on your own time. And then it's the final assignments for that are not due until later. So I split that up. This is the research paper unit. Okay, I put in a topic here and I actually shared it with the other people that teach this course. This is very important for you to read about that paper, just things that I have found have been very troublesome for students in the past. Let's go back to the home. Okay, class resources. This was discussed in the slides. This is the student success site. I'm not going to click on that, but it provides you numerous quick click resources to help you with all of these different things. Also, if you have any point in the course where you need a password for something, I tried to think of as many as I could, and I added it here. We have a USA Test Prep account. Near the end of the semester, I will give you an opportunity to get some extra learning credit by doing this. So especially if you have to take the EOC, the USA Test Prep is a great resource for you to be able to practice how to take that exam, as well as get some extra credit in this course. Shmoop we use a lot. I love Shmoop. It has a lot of great videos. If you're having trouble understanding a text, Shmoop is a great place to start. I don't want to see it quoted in your papers. Don't quote Shmoop in your papers. Don't quote Spark Notes or Cliff Notes or anything like that. Summary websites are not a good place to get your information for papers. Okay. You should be able to analyze and include that yourself. But Shmoop is a great place to go to in order to help you understand a text if you're having trouble with it. OWL at Purdue, this is a great resource for learning how to write different sections of your paper and how to do bibliographies and things like that. Discovery Ed, for some of the media in the course, you need this Discovery Ed password. That's what it is right there. Galileo is a great place to do research, especially for that research paper. We have our own. This is it here, and this is the password. Okay, teacher information. This is all about me. You should have access to that. I'm going to try to fix that. Well, bad. And the live learning sessions. This is where you click on the link to get here. That tells you when. Mondays at 11 and Wednesdays at 4. So this Wednesday at 4, I will have my plagiarism class. And this is how you enter my room. I will post all of the recordings here. I usually tend to upload them on YouTube just because that works really well. But it takes like 3 hours to upload. So don't expect to see that anytime soon today. Glass down here, the classroom bulletin board. This is going to remain the same for a while until all of the students are active in the course, and then I might change this. There's a lot of information there that's going to be helpful. Grades can be checked over here. Obviously, this is a test student, so none of these grades are actually going to show as a real person. You can access your OneDrive and your Office 365 email from this this over here. You can also access your syllabus. It's going to give you a lot of information about the course and the details. The dates do not populate for this, again, for the sample student. Now, I'm going to show you the most important thing right here is the course calendar. Again, this is not going to populate for a sample student, but this should be populated for you now. So that course calendar is on that homepage, and that's where all of your assignments are going to show up with the dates. I believe the dates do copy onto other assignments in other places, but this course calendar is definitely your end-all be-all. And then you can, if you use Google Calendar or iCalendar or anything like that, you can have it update. So if you can add this calendar even into if you use Google Calendar on your phone or something like that. So the calendar is going to be where you're going to see, and if you notice over here, it's outside of the course itself. So if you're taking more than one course, you're taking math as well, whatever, it will show all of your courses so that you can kind of look ahead. So if you have 2 major assignments and 2 different courses due on the same day, you can work ahead and make sure that you have that worked out. Go back into the course. Okay, go over here. All right, is there anything that I forgot to answer? Any questions, anything at all about the course, the material, anything with Canvas, policies? Now's your time. No, the schedule should already be populated for you, and it should have populated today. Is it not showing for you? Did you click on the course schedule for your own? Dates are missing. Are the dates missing for everyone? Schedule is empty. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know why it would show as empty. That's ridiculous. I put all the dates in. Hold on. Let me play with that. Hold on. I'm going to turn off screen sharing so it'll accidentally share somebody's personal information. Okay, refresh, check again. I'm glad you guys let me know. It worked now? Can everyone check, please? I had to republish it. Oh, yes. Yay, I figured it out. I don't know why I didn't have that button pushed and nobody else caught it. There you go. I appreciate you for checking, and thank you so much for letting me know. Like I said, I'm new with Canvas too, so apparently I didn't click the publish button. But that should start publications and start assignments from today on out. Okay, cool. Let me check and see if it worked on the sample student. So I can kind of, well, I mean, obviously now you all can see it. Do you have assignments that are showing up as due today? Great, good. Okay, so by starting the course today, obviously, like I said, you have the maximum ability, the maximum amount of time in order to complete everything. So yes, there are assignments that are due today. I believe this Friday, those of you that are starting today, June 1st, may not have assignments on Friday because you're supposed to be reading the Crucible. I believe that's the case. Well, if you start at any later, or if at any point you need me to pause the plan, you know, you get sick, your mom gets sick, you know, if the COVID's going around, we're aware of that. Someone in your house gets COVID or whatever, and you can't be working, or you need to work, or whatever, you know, you get COVID. Be sure to let me know. Flu has been on the downtick this year because of, you know, isolation, but yeah, let me know. We can work on that. So I'm so glad that you guys caught that issue for me. Thank you. I fixed it. Yay, I figured it out. If there are any other questions, I'm happy to help. I'll stick around for a minute or two, but I think I've covered everything. It's possible you've already done everything that was due today. Let me go check. Let me check for you. I don't want to give you false information and then you decide and then you're done. Iris, that's a great question. So you may get a temporary low grade, but you can always go back a day or two later and see if students have gone and added more posts, and then I will update your grade. So currently I even have a student that's failing because they were the first person to post, and they'll have to just go back and post other post replies, and then I'll update it. Let's see. Yeah, there should be no reason why it's showing as no work due. I don't know why that is. Cooper and Joe. It should be showing that you have work due today because you haven't submitted anything yet today. Cooper, where's Cooper? There he is. Okay, yeah, you both are in the course, and it should be showing work for you to do today. Should be like the introduction discussion and probably the plagiarism discussion as well. You know what? It might want you to do the acknowledgement form first. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Once you can submit that acknowledgement form quiz, then your calendar will probably populate. So go ahead and do that first, and then go back and check on that calendar. And if there's still nothing there, let me know, because that's an issue. But everyone that can see dates on their calendar has already submitted the acknowledgement form quiz. I'm thinking that's what it is. I think that's what I remember hearing. So if you do that acknowledgement form today, your course will populate and everything will be due from here on out. Cooper, does that make sense? Okay. Remember, everything is linked in through modules. So let me get to my home page. So you would want to click on modules. You're going to want to go over all of that before you start your course information, and the quiz is going to be at that bottom of that list. Let me screen share again. Oh, clicked on the wrong one. Close, open. Let's go back to screen share. Okay, so on the home, no, that's not what I wanted to click on, over here. On the homepage of your course, this is mine, but it looks the same. You're going to see this getting started. You're going to click on that. This is actually the first module. All of this stuff, the email, reading about how to work the email, the assignments, the quizzes, the tests, this is making sure that you acknowledge our policies. And then right here at the end of that list is the acknowledgement form quiz. You can take that as many times as you need to, and it will only let you proceed once you get 100. Actually, I think you just simply need to click that you've read the policies or something like that. It's very easy to complete. Just make sure you read the policies and then complete the quiz, and then your calendar will populate. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's what they told me. That's something new this year that is new to Canvas, and I'm very glad it's there because it forces students to acknowledge our policies before they can proceed with their work. We didn't have that last year. We didn't have that set, so that's new. Any other questions? You guys have been very helpful to both me and other students. All right, I appreciate your interactive participation, asking questions and helping me troubleshoot. Please feel free to ask questions and help me troubleshoot in the future if you can't find an answer. Again, this is my first time with Canvas as well. So if I don't know the answer, I will find it. The ILT, which is the instructional lead teacher for ELA, Miss Rickert, is amazing. She knows stuff very quickly, and if she doesn't, the assistant supervisor of instruction, Dr. Yisrael, is amazing, and she knows things. Again, if she doesn't know the answer, she'll find it. So we have a really great IT team for any issues that we might come across. So be sure to let me know. Again, remember that my phone number is the one with the 59, not the 39, and you're welcome to text me at any point. Thank you so much for coming. I would definitely appreciate being able to talk to students because y'all catch issues and are able to help, and I appreciate that. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday. Go take that acknowledgement form quiz if you haven't. Thank you so much for coming.